Shmups aren't known for their narrative depth, but I always appreciate it when developers take a moment to give me some context as to why I'm blasting away waves of enemies. Developer Killworks is teaming up with Konami to create a new Shmup IP called Signy, All Guns Blazing. I had the chance to play through an early build of this game before its August release to get an idea of what kind of shmup this team is cooking up. Strangely, it attempts to bring together its events with the help of some narrative bits and interesting characters, but in that same breath, Signy might need some mixed media to get me immersed. That said, the gunplay alone holds enough agency to excite all shmup fans, and you should probably check it out. For this review, I was able to play through 3 levels within Signy All Guns Blazing. The game begins by introducing a lively fighter pilot, and that's the last we see of this character. Listen, I know shmup fans aren't looking for much of a story, but this opening seemed to want to set up this character and the story, but really failed to capitalize on it. An enemy threat has invaded, and it's up to the player to stop it. None of the in-game characters impacted the actual experience, at least during the levels of this preview. I don't even recall if they were even given names. This is one of the few times I wished for mixed media to expand on the lore and characters, whether conveyed through a novelization or a short story. I just really liked the tension the story set up following the invasion and humanity's last stand. As for gameplay, Signy presents an interesting take on the shmup genre. While other shmups play out through enemy waves you can memorize, Signy's enemies like to hang out and surround you until you take them down. While some enemies come on screen and fly off if you don't destroy them, most of them seem to crowd around you until you take aim and take them down. It made me kind of wish for a 360-degree firing option, but as it stands, you only have slight control over your bullet direction. Over time, you can upgrade the ship, but I found the menu navigation of the upgrades system a little confusing. And while I'll save the in-depth ship description for the final review, there's something that I don't like about this upgrade design. You see, shmups work because the longer you stay alive, the more possibilities you'll get to grab upgrades from fallen enemies, only to lose them if you blow up. However, Signy has some roguelike elements that encourage you to play on easier difficulties, upgrade your ships, and then return on a harder difficulty. I attempted to jump in on normal, but more times than not, I'd run the timer on some enemies, and they'd just leave the screen. So I had to upgrade my ship and return powerful enough to get through the level. While it's completely possible to survive without upgrades, the general frustration of learning the stage waves while dealing with the ship handicap doesn't work for casual play. Regardless, after you do upgrade your ship and understand the levels, Signy is a very chaotic shmup. The levels are gorgeous as the enemy creatures come up from below you. You're able to shoot in front or on the floor. However, you can't do both at the same time. So here's a suggestion to the developers. Allow the player to use both, but lower the bullet power while using them simultaneously. Other than that, there are upgrade bullet patterns, homing bombs, and a shield system that allows you to distribute resources to either your homing bombs or shields, which gets easier to understand the more you play. I should add that easy mode is the only option that gives you multiple lives. All other difficulties kick you back to the beginning. Signy is an ambitious and exciting attempt to create a new shmup IP. The developers aren't delivering an experience that you can get anywhere else, which does cause some initial frustration when trying to figure out the ins and outs of the gameplay. Still, it comes together nicely and becomes a high-score chasing firefight across each level. I'm curious to see if the story expands, but I'll save that for the review. Signy All Guns Blazing is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC via Steam on August 5th, 2024. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our feature content.
Voice Pixel.